Hey, what's up? It's Mike with 4,000 Weeks, and this is People of Passion. Hey, what's up? It's Mike with 4,000 Weeks. This is a segment of my channel called People of Passion. People of Passion is where I bring some local bands, maybe even some bands from afar down here into my studio, Mik'd Up Studios. I ask them some questions, get to know them, and then we set up a live jam session. These guys are set up and mic'd up and ready to go. Once the live jam session is recorded, we're going to make it down to some cool videos, some cool footage, and be able to share it all with you. Today I want to introduce you to an awesome band from Livonia, Michigan called Odd Reality.
Yeah!
Odd Reality.
Hey guys, thanks for coming by. I just want you to give a quick introduction. Just let the audience know your name and the instrument that you play, and just a little bit on how you got started playing music.
I'm Brad, I play guitar because I'm stupid.
I'm Mark, I play the drums, and I started playing the drums because I was bored of playing guitar.
I'm Adrian. I play the bass because I'm bad at guitar.
Nice. Well, these guys love music and they all have a good sense of humor. That's a good quality to have. So, just explain to us a little bit about your music and kind of the sound of it, and what are some of your inspirations that led you to your sound?
We make like post-hardcore with like different influences from other genres. So pretty much just emo music, loud, heavy.
Emo.
Nice. Yeah, what are some of your influences in general?
Basement, Title Fight, Julie, At the Drive-In, John Frusciante.
Yes.
Those,
All that.
all of that.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to listening to some of those bands. There's a few in there I haven't heard of, so I'll have to have you guys give me a little listen later.
Definitely
Sure.
check
Yeah.
out Title Fight, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
title fight.
Nice. Well, shout out to Title Fight. I'll tag you in that post.
Yeah. I got it.
So, explain to me a little bit about your creative process, just kind of how you guys go about writing your music, where a lot of the songs maybe come from, or is there a procedure to it, or is it just kind of random? But we'd love to hear about it.
It all starts with an idea from one of us. One of us comes to the rest of the guys with an idea, and then we all just let it become a thing, and then it's a song that we play.
Cool. So I heard all of you mention guitar, so I'm sure a lot of the riffs start off
We
on the
all-
guitar.
Either one of us brings a riff.
Yeah.
Do you ever start a song off with just like a melody or something like that, or is it just mostly a guitar riff that leads to the?
I feel like most of the time it is a guitar riff.
It's
and then
mostly
every
guitar.
I would like to try and maybe
Different, yeah.
just start with the melody.
There's one song that did start with the bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand That Feeds. That one started off on
Usually
Nice.
guitar.
But most of the time it's guitar.
Yeah, a lot of songwriters will say guitar or pianos where they start the song off
Yeah.
and then they build it out from there. So that's great to hear. And then I know you guys had discussed before in some of our chats that you group write your lyrics. You want to explain a little bit about that?
It's kind of like an orgy. We create beautiful music together, and everybody, we all put our heads together and we come up with something cool.
Yeah.
Like, we all throw
The
our
heads
ideas
on our
in.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, if one of us has a creative block, somebody else got the next bar in the
Pick
song.
it up. And we're like, we got this.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, when it comes to creativity, I'm glad you said that. Is there any times where this has kind of backfired, where you guys did not get along, or maybe an idea didn't match out the right way?
We tried writing a song that was just absolutely just
Stupid.
stupid, actually like crazy. And
We tried to make like a silly song, like System of a Down. They have like a lot of
Silly.
silly songs, but we're not
We're not a silly band.
as
Yeah.
funny
We're
as
serious.
them.
So some
We're not as
button
clever.
heads that you
I
guys just gave
kind
up.
of did the creative. I just blocked them out.
Yeah.
I just went to go play the games on the computer. I started hearing the
Yeah.
lyrics. So I was like,
They were stupid. They were bad.
They were
Yeah, but
so
you know,
bad.
sometimes it's fun, and it could lead to something else, so you never know.
Yeah.
And it's worth a shot.
I do think we kept the music though. We just didn't use the lyrics.
Yeah, that's great. You can keep the music, and then you can group write the lyrics at a later time, or even just shelf it. I shelf a lot of songs, come back to them. There's a
Yeah.
quote from Bob Dylan that I love. He says that some of the greatest songs of all time are not written; they're rewritten.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
huge for me when I heard that, because there's a lot of songs that I've written where I was like, this is how the song is, this is how it goes, but then like later I changed the melody or the lyrics or just the whole flow of it. It was originally a hard rock song and I turned it into a piano song or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I love that, just being able to keep part of it, come back later, and it just keeps the Rolodex going just on song ideas. So,
Yeah.
So what are your most memorable moments as a band?
Well, one time when we played the Blind Pig on our last song, it was our big finale, and the speakers blew out. We blew out the speakers of the venue, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And,
Yeah.
nobody else got to play that night, so
There's
we
3 bands after
apologize.
us, yeah.
And when we first played at the Token Lounge, that's my favorite venue we play at sometimes. All these people, after we finished playing, they were all telling us like their favorite song was like all these different songs. So I like how all of our music is like equally as good.
That's great, yeah. That's one of the best feelings when you're at like a local show and someone comes up and compliments your music, because there's no incentive for them to do so. Like it's not, they're not chasing fame. They're not, they're not trying to, you know, get all up in a celebrity's face. It's like they're taking the time out of their day to let you know that they liked what they heard. And then for, like you said, the diversity of it. Sometimes you might get worried if you went and played 10 songs and everyone came up and said, "Hey, I really love that cover that you did." It's just like, oh man, like what about the other 9 originals we did? So it is a great feeling. The Token's a great venue. John Anton, the owner, is a good friend of mine. So I've been playing up there for 15 years. We've opened up for some big bands up there, so keep an eye out. There's a lot of cool national acts that come through there, and if you guys keep consistent, you might end up finding yourself on the bill with one of them, and those shows are a trip. I mean, when that place is packed, it's electric. So shout out to John at the Token Lounge. You're always doing an awesome job up there. So what is each of your most memorable moments as just a musician in general? Let's not say as a band, just something in specific about your experience with music or something you've done. It could be a riff that you've written, a song that's special to you, just anything that's memorable just about your connectivity with music in itself.
There's every time I turn on my favorite songs that bring me joy. That's my favorite thing about music.
Yeah,
It brightens your whole day.
Yeah, it's magic, man. It can lift somebody out of the deepest, darkest moods, but it can also put you in the deepest, darkest moods too.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mark?
Man, just when you get behind the kit and just lock in, that's the best part. Just you're in your own world.
Yeah.
Put the headphones on.
Yeah, the Japanese call that your ikigai.
Yeah.
your flow state. So it's like when nothing else in the world exists. And that means that's a true passion of yours.
Yeah.
Music is one of my ikigais. I have a ton of them, but yeah, it's definitely, there is a such thing. You can call it your flow state. I tell everybody, like, you don't want to grind out. You want to flow. Everything that grinds comes to a halt. So you got to stay in that flow.
And for me, I'd say just connecting with other musicians, like jamming. I really like just that process. It's so fun. These guys are my favorite to jam with, but just anyone in general too.
Yeah, it's great because you know, it's music's one of the most amazing things about music to me is that you could be in a room with 10 different people. Everybody has such a different perspective of it, and you could somebody could put a song on and not even being rude to them. I just might hate the way that song sounds, but you look over at them and they're so connected to it. And then so because there's such a wide array of music, such a wide array of listeners, such a wide array of musicians that play, it's like such an immersive experience. Just jamming with like 1 or 2 new people is like an out of world experience, because it's like part of it is just getting in the groove and jamming with them, but then part of it is like the mystery on like, where did they come up with this? Where did they come from?
And it's fun to like have to adjust your play style and stuff.
Yeah.
And like see like how different people mix when they put together their influences and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there's a bunch of influences and we're all sharing riffs, you know, and then it's like you don't ever want to be the smartest guy in the room, so I like being around musicians that are better than me, you know, and just some people who are different than I am, because you get influence in what you're doing and it's going to completely change the dynamic of your own music down the road. I mean, so it just puts everybody as a giant melting pot when it comes to that, so I appreciate that. So these are the things, your most memorable moments and stuff like that, but for every positive side, there's a downside as well. So, I mean, what is, you know, some of your least favorite things about, you know, being in the music scene, just maybe as a musician in general, just some poor experiences that you felt over the time.
We got a bone to pick with one band that ate all of his Oreos.
Oh,
Backstage.
the Oreo band.
They ate all of his Oreos, and
They got drunk before their performance. They were all like just on stage. Oh, they couldn't. And then the bass player forgot their bass amp. And then it's like, how do you forget that? And so they asked to borrow this one. And then they couldn't figure out how to plug in
or how to turn it on.
How to turn it on. They couldn't even figure out which one was the bass amp. And it literally says
that
bass
wasn't
on.
fun.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
you know what? I've had my fair share of bad experiences with alcohol and music as well, and they mix and they don't. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great musicians. They get whacked out of their minds, and then there's a lot of people that get whacked out of their minds and knock over amps and guitars, and
Nobody plays better
No.
encumbered.
Yeah, I truthfully agree with you on that one. You think you do, but I've played sober and I've played
Yeah.
very drunk, and
It's like saying you drive better drunk.
yeah, exactly. You have to be drunk to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for each of you, what's your favorite piece of equipment that you own?
My amp right here, my EVH
Nice.
Black Stealth.
Nice. It's a nice tube amp. EVHs are amazing. I have one myself.
Yes.
Looks like you have the 50-watt head on
Yep.
a Mesa Boogie 212 cab.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful combination there. So,
Sir.
sounds like it's going to be great for post-hardcore. And for all of you, you're going to be able to give it a listen here. We're going to get some live recordings. We're going to be micing that amp up, pun intended on it.
Oh,
and, EVH is a very, very great amp series. I used to play off a PV6505 Plus. And 5150 is a very similar, just gritty tone.
Heavy.
And it looks like there's a good slew of pedals over here too, so I'm gonna be excited to see what kind of effects we can get out of that equipment.
Sir.
What about you, Mark? What's your favorite piece of equipment?
Mine's my new pork pie 7x13 thing. Rips like a motherfucker.
It's a
I
sweet
love
snare.
that thing.
I heard him playing it earlier. It's deep. 7 inches is a deep snare.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. We have that mic'd up today with a Shure SM57 on the top, and then we have a small diaphragm condenser mic on the underside on the chain. So we're gonna really be able to capture a lot of that good crack of that snare, mix it down really good, and throw it through the Oxford drum gates that I have in Pro Tools, and really tighten it up and get a good sound out of it. So I'm excited for all of you to hear that. Adrian, what's your favorite piece of equipment that you own?
My Big Booty Judy bass pedal. It's a distortion pedal, and it's based off the Rad distortion pedal, but it's for bass, so it has a blend knob, so you can blend in the bass.
Nice. Yeah, I love when bass players use effects pedals. I mean, a lot of them don't. They don't even touch it, but you know the music's gonna be versatile when the bass player has a pedal board. Let me show you this real quick too, if I can get it in the camera. We got a really unique setup over here. Here, hold on. I'll just put the camera down this way. So, he mounted his pedal board onto a skateboard. That's actually what caught my eye about these guys. I've never seen anyone do this. I really like this. And the back side of the deck's pretty cool looking too. Not that anyone would see it, but yeah, so creativity is on these guys' minds always, whether it's what they're writing or just with the equipment in general.
Yeah, I had the idea when I was, we got our shirts for the merch from this skate shop, and then I saw all these skateboards and I'm like, I should make a skateboard pedal board.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for each of you, I know we talked about your influences now. I'm sure a lot of these bands didn't even exist when you were younger kids. So that's a big thing about who makes us and what makes us into musicians is our influences. So if each of you want to kind of just talk about like what you listened to growing up, more than likely probably what your parents listened to, but kind of what was in your ear that led you to playing the way that you do nowadays.
I like to listen to Rush. I saw them twice. Saw them on their last tour in like 2nd grade, and I always loved ELO and Alice Cooper. And
Nice.
Those kind of combined to give me my music taste.
I saw Alice Cooper live last year and blew my mind. He's
Yeah.
so old, but he's so good. So, yeah. What about you, Mark? What are some of your influences when
Um,
you were younger?
My two biggest influence from when I was younger is probably Avenged Sevenfold and Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
are the two that I listen to on repeat constantly.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody in the world that's not influenced by Alice in
Mhm.
Chains. Like, you could be like, I never heard of Alice in Chains. Be like, they're one of your influences. You know, it's like,
Man in the Box, dude.
yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I mean,
How do you not know
Yeah.
I punched so many people in the face playing hockey growing up that was my nickname, was the man in the box. I was always in the penalty box. So,
That's funny.
but yeah, that's a great band. Both of those bands are two of my favorite of all time. The Avenged Sevenfold, I've seen more live than any other band. Period. I've probably seen them 11
that?
times. So
R.I.P. Jimmy.
I still just go. Yeah, the Rev was one of the
Menace
greatest
on the
losses in the
drums.
music industry for sure. What about you, Adrian? What was in your year growing up?
Growing up, I really was into pop punk, so I listened to a lot of Fall Out Boy, Paramore, Green Day, and also Nirvana and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Love those
the
two
funky
bands.
bass. Yep, yeah, and you know that scene like with Fall Out Boy and Paramore and all them, they were so big for it was a quick spurt. It was all you
Yeah.
heard, but for like 4 years, it was like, but it was like the last time that music was really good.
But yeah, I think they were like the last era of like popular rock music.
Yeah, it was.
And that was
the last
also
era.
just what was coming out when I was a kid too.
Yeah, those Vans Warped Tour was huge. The festival was huge,
just
and then
brought it
honestly, it's like yeah,
Yeah.
everything makes a comeback. You know, like everyone says disco died, but if you listen to modern pop music, it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's just disco. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Like
just they just
Dua
call it
Lipa
pop. You know,
And The Weeknd.
yeah, they're just everyone's just making disco music again. Rock music cycles back. People get bored. I mean, we see it with movies. They're remaking every damn movie we already ever watched. So, well, that's awesome. I love hearing about your experiences and your inspirations. So we're gonna finish up the interview and get to rocking out. But a couple more questions is, do you have anything in the works? Shows up and coming wise, new songs that you're getting ready to release. You are going to be able to catch these live recordings. We can get it on Spotify, iTunes, all that. It's going to probably be released under 4,000 Weeks People of Passion, and then it'll follow up with their name, but we'll put all the links in the bio so you can find it. And then these guys, I don't know if you guys have your own method of getting stuff on iTunes and Spotify and all that, but if you don't, I'll definitely show you the easy way to do it. So you'll be able to at least check out these live recordings, but is there anything else in the works that people should know about coming up?
We're just gonna be putting out these mic'd up live recordings. You gotta listen to all of them and watch Mike. He's a great guy with a great studio. Continue to watch his videos, and great things lined up both ways.
I'm going to get these guys in the studio too. We'll probably do some track by track recordings as well. It's just fun to hang out with them. I can't get enough of music, so it's something that I would love to do for them. When I was younger, I put 50 cents in a sticker machine and I pulled it out, and it wasn't even one of the ones on display. It was a little stop sign that said "Can't Stop." I smacked it on an acoustic guitar, and that was 15 years ago, and I still can't stop. So
Addicted to the shindig.
yeah, it's, you know, get your dopamine in healthy ways. You know what I mean? Music is a great way to do it. Anybody watching the show, if you're interested in learning an instrument, learning more about music, I'm always available. Shoot me a DM, a message. I'm very free about giving out my phone number. I love to meet up with people and explain the process. And these guys have an Instagram page. It's a Odd Reality Band on Instagram. My Instagram is 4,000 Weeks Music. And for those of you who don't know, 4,000 weeks is the average amount of time that a human lives for. So this is what I'm doing with my 4,000 weeks. What are you
Yes.
going to do with yours?